Good morning, Karan. My name is Shraddha Prasad. I'm with the Yale School of Management Admissions Office, and I'll be conducting your interview today, so welcome.
Hi.
Before we get started, Karan, do you have a copy of your resume for me by any chance?
Oh, I'm so sorry, I actually forgot to bring it.
It's okay, that's absolutely fine. We had that happen, so we'll get started with the questions. I have a few questions for you today, and then I'll give you an opportunity to ask me any questions you might have at the end as well. But to get us started, why don't you just tell me something about yourself?
Of course. So my whole life I've really grown up as a topper. You know, academic success has been something that's always defined everything I've done, and I've really held it I held myself to a very high standard. It's been my lifelong dream to get into IIT, and I've sort of dedicated everything I've done to relentlessly pursuing that dream as well. Spent 2 years at Kota and then secured a very high rank on the JEE, and then actually fulfilled my dream of getting into IIT and was the first in my family to do so. So I was pretty proud of that achievement, to be honest. And then once I arrived at IIT, I really immersed myself and really allowed myself to take up a lot of group activities. I was the president of the drama club, the hostel secretary, as well as the cricket captain. So I really felt that I was that holistic figure on the IIT campus, which I really enjoyed. I did 2 internships when I was at IIT. The first one was at Deutsche Bank, and then the second one was at Shell. My performance at Shell was pretty good, and they actually offered me a full-time job. So I spent the next 2 years working with them as one of the engineers and enjoyed that time as well. But then I wanted to change the scene, so I decided to start with a startup in Bangalore and enjoy that experience as well. And this renewable energy startup was wonderful in a lot of ways, but I think I'm ready for my new chapter and to pursue my MBA at Yale.
Okay, that's great, thank you. So Karan, my next question for you has to do with your leadership style. Could you tell me a little bit about your current leadership style and maybe how your leadership style has changed over the past few years?
Yeah, of course. So I always grew up in a very conservative sort of family environment that followed a very strict hierarchy. So my dad was at the top of it, and then we always had to abide by the rules that he sort of set in stone. So that strict and authoritative environment and leadership style is something that I've grown up with and thought that was what I should do myself as well. And then I feel for this reason I fit in very well with the IIT and Shell environments, you know, and actually at IIT I was the hostel secretary, and I was very authoritative with my leadership style and actually was successful in improving the residential environment. So I think because of the way I was brought up and what I had to follow, I was successful in administering this change at IIT as well. I think the confusion came when I actually entered the startup world. You know, I realized that I had to become a more participative person and my leadership style had to be more collaborative. So that was difficult, but I think now I'm always seeking the consensus of my team members, and I think I'm ready for any challenges coming my way.
Okay, thank you. So Karan, at Yale we value learning from your experiences and learning from change in your life. So could you tell me a little bit about maybe the biggest risk you've ever faced at work, either at work or outside, I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mentioned a little bit about my job at Shell, and I think for me that was a really big professional growing opportunity. And you know, I took up a number of leadership roles. I was the head of a lot of teams there. I was able to generate a lot of revenue for the company, and in my long time there I actually gained a lot of international exposure and experience. So I really enjoyed my time there and learned a lot from it. So I think for those reasons, sort of leaving Shell was the biggest risk that I took. You know, in addition to giving up a very, very attractive financial package, I was giving up on a huge name as well. And coming from my culture, it's all about success and things like that. So my parents were extremely upset. They didn't agree with my decision, and it was very difficult to make that plunge and be happy in the startup scene as well. But at the same time, I think despite all of that, I've made the right decision. I'm ready for the next step, you know, and I think the MBA is where is the next step in my journey. So.
Okay, and just to end our interview, do you have any questions for me? Because those are the only questions I had for you.
No, I think everything was answered. Thank you.
Okay, not a problem. You'll hear from us fairly soon, but thank you for taking the time to come in.
Great, thank
Thanks.
you.